Welcome to this presentation on information and education application in virtual environments for the College of Professional and Global Education Conference 2024. I'm Shannon Broden, a second-year MLIS student at SJSU. With my avatar created as Shannon, I was involved in a student challenge held in Second Life by the Virtual Worlds Education Consortium with the support of Linden Labs, alongside participants in 8 other teams from around the globe. I was involved through a class at San Jose State University. I'll take you behind the scenes for the background and requirements, literature and method, discussion, and lessons learned. There was an expectation that participants could purchase some items from the store, but were expected to build most items for the exhibit themselves. In my case, I decided to use a building purchased from the store, but built all exhibits inside of it and landscaped around it due to time constraints. The rubric consisted of 5 areas: authenticity and accuracy of content, balanced size without bias, accessible aesthetic appeal, interaction and/or immersion, and presentation. My approach was also shaped in part by the work of Brian C. Nelson and Benjamin E. Erlandson. I defined my exhibit goals based on their criteria for designing virtual world curriculum. They have 6 points: instructional training problem, proposed solution, justification for curriculum, target audience and setting, learning objectives, and description of how the virtual world experience will be utilized. As suggested by a pitch for the competition, I decided my instructional training problem was to use a virtual reality simulation that reflected concepts being taught by San Jose State University. My proposed solution: to create a Library of Alexandria themed display that showed major points in the evolution of conveying information. The justification of the curriculum, in this case, was the rubric dictated by the competition. The target audience is a general one, and although the setting it was built in was originally a dedicated area for the competition, the long-term setting intended is the Oasis-themed area of Second Life that's administered by SJSU iSchool. The learning objectives, dictated by the provided rubric, and the description of how virtual world experience will be utilized is an interactive museum tour containing images, note cards, and descriptive audio. For authenticity and accuracy, I used Creative Commons licensed images of actual items depicted for added authenticity, and the items featured in the exhibit were researched and sources provided as web links. To balance without bias, I made sure that the exhibits represented different cultures on the timeline of the history of information as we moved from different places around the world to a more global situation through the personal portable computer. Since I had purchased my own building, I focused on the accessible part of the presentation. I made sure to add ramps for those who would have difficulty navigating their avatars up and around stairs and other obstacles. And for audio, I recorded different snippets to be played in case people couldn't read the provided written information. That latter aspect of accessibility also played in as a factor for interaction and immersion, as you can see illustrated here. Because participants came from across the globe, in lieu of presenting to the judges live, we were each asked to record a video presentation that featured how we felt we had achieved each part of the rubric and what our goals were for our exhibit. Lessons learned included designing intent of use before creation helps target the focus of learning experience. Building to fit specific requirements is a challenge and difficult to do alone. There is value in teamwork. And though I didn't win any awards, I did feel that this process helped me build a solid base for simulation building for education and learning. Any questions? Please drop them in the comments below. A big thank you to Bethany Winslow and Marie Vans for being my mentors at SJSU, to the Virtual Worlds Education Consortium and Linden Labs for sponsoring the challenge, and to CPGE for holding this conference.